Welcome to the Escape and Empower podcast. Escape from the corporate rat race to empowered franchise ownership. Are you ready to take control of your destiny, follow your dreams, and live life on your own terms? Join our hosts, Dave and Pete, for insights on how to break free from the corporate grind, ditch the 9-to-5, and step into empowered franchise ownership.
Welcome to the Escape and Power podcast. My name is Pete Gilfillan. I'm here with my podcast partner, Dave Greenberg. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Pete. Bring on the energy. It always pumps me up to get on this podcast with you.
Well, you and I are on a mission. Our mission is to help executives take control of their destiny, to live life in their terms, and to build wealth, and doing that through being empowered franchisees. That's our mission. And one of the things we always try to do in our podcast is answer a question. And today, what I thought we'd talk about is a little bit, and we've discussed this before, but there's a lot of new stuff coming out there, and it's big. The question we're going to ask is, will AI eliminate your executive position?
I think it's a great topic. I mean, if you don't have your head in the sand and you read anything of substance that is quality content, they're talking about AI. Can it eliminate your job? We're going to find out. Is it going to drive efficiencies? And are boards going to start thinking about how they use this new technology to create efficiencies and maybe bring more to the bottom line? Absolutely, absolutely. We just saw this in an announcement by Amazon.
Yeah.
You know, what do they employ? Like 1.5 million people, and they're going after the AI element and seeing how it can make it more efficient.
And the idea is that everybody thinks it's not me that's going to be replaced with AI, right? Especially senior level executives. I'm a vice president. There's no way they're going to replace a vice president with AI. And I'm here to tell you that it's not just the middle manager, kind of the base employees. It is also senior level executives. And that's, we're seeing as AI gets better, stronger, and the functionality associated with it is increasing so much that it will replace corporate level positions. So let's talk about the first thing, that one of the reasons why AI could eliminate that executive position. What would be one of those you think of?
Oh, I'll talk about how we experience it in our daily lives. And it's the routine tasks that people use in their business. I don't know if it's customer service or it's accounts receivable, accounts payable. It's from collections, it's from decision making, it's from analyzing data and spreadsheets. You know, a lot of these functions that are routine tasks were handled by executives and prepared by managers. And those are increasingly being taken over by AI-driven tools. And it reduces, in our view, in my view, the necessity from human involvement in lower level executive day-to-day responsibilities.
Well, and you're also seeing it move up, right? I mean, think about even as kind of senior level executives, how we had to do reports. We had to do, like the Monday mornings, get ready for that, the budget tracking, that kind of stuff. And bottom line is now it's moving up. And so there are actually tools, robotic process automation, RPA. Companies are using that to automatize, for lack of better terms, simple things like reporting, budget tracking, even employee scheduling. And you're seeing companies like Accenture use those to automate their routine things. So those routine activities that we do, even as a senior level executive, can now be replaced with AI. And I give you an example. I've got a friend, she's a senior level executive at a very large company. And she said that they did deals. They would put together deal packets to underwrite a loan. And she would literally spend 10 hours putting together. She said leveraging AI took that from 10 hours developing system through prompts, where now it takes 1 hour, 1/10 of the time. So how many employees do you need? How many senior level executives do you need to have? You don't need to have 4 in the room, you only need 1. So certainly automatizing or kind of taking tools that take routine things, that's big. What about this idea? And I think a second one is this cost efficiency, right? AI dramatically cuts operational costs by eliminating redundancies, reducing human labor, and certainly enhancing productivity.
I think it's spot on. And I like to think about it in, let's set aside the corporate world, because I know that's what we're talking about in executive positions. But think about how we're using it, or I'll share how I'm using it in my daily life. So Google search, right? It has AI built into it, and it's ahead of all the links, and it gives me some things. But really, if I go to ChatGPT or if I go to Grok, I lay in exactly what I'm trying to figure out. And the depth of the analysis, the depth of the thought that comes back is a huge time saving for me. And that's my long-winded way of talking about cost efficiency that you mentioned.
Yeah.
So, time is money. Whether you're talking about the workflow or velocity of business can be dramatically improved. And when you improve the velocity of business, you start to think about, wow, I'm getting more for my money. It's efficiency, it's cost reduction. And we're seeing that. I'm watching Wimbledon right now, right? And you think about IBM's Watson, and Watson is all over the place. There, the probabilities of wins, of shots, of winners, and then they have odds, and it's all this AI technology that is finding our way into our daily lives. That you'd be foolish to think if it's not gonna find it into your corporate life.
Yeah, and you think a little bit about Wimbledon. You had mentioned it, you brought it up. I'm not a big tennis guy, but I read that they took the line judges out.
Oh yeah.
They use now technology to, for lack of better terms, be the line judges. And historically, that was a high pressure, very important position to be a line judge, right? And bottom line is you're seeing more and more of this implementation of AI to automatize things, to monitor equipment. And in the case of the tennis, the line judges, right? So this is reducing costs, and it is going to continue to do that. And you see more and more articles talking about that.
Yeah, and it leads us into the next point, because it was really sad, right? Those line judges had careers and history, and Wimbledon is steeped in tradition, the championships, the ultimate championship of tennis. But when you think about taking those line judges out, as you mentioned, cost comes out, right? And then what they've also taken out because of the technology is the challenges. Players can't challenge anymore because they're relying on the technology to make the decisions on whether a ball is in or whether it's out. So it really cuts down and makes the game more efficient. It takes emotional decision making sometimes out of the chair umpire. And that's the topic of the next subject, is decision making algorithms. And AI-driven algorithms are now capable of making complex strategic decisions based on massive data sets that typically was maybe reserved for the C-suite, or typically reserved for the executive director roles.
Yeah, no question about it. The senior level exec. Think about when we were at Ford, right? You had the vice president of Ford, right? And they had years of experience and good judgment and stuff like that, but they were making decisions based on that experience. Now you bring in an AI algorithm that takes a lot of data and makes a decision. Right. And you're seeing companies use this, right? Think of Google and Netflix. They're actually using AI-driven decisions about product development, customer targeting, right? So AI can take a look at a lot more data and make a much more informed decision than humans can.
Yeah. Going back to, it's called Hawkeye, is the technology in tennis. And it's a great branding effort, because it's really, Hawks can see things in the ground in a very technical way and very precise way. And, let's get on to the next one, which is what follows, these things we've been talking about: automation of routine tasks, cost efficiency, and decision-making algorithms. Well, it turns right into operational efficiency. You and I speak to operational experts, supply chain specialists, people who are leading large organizations. And even in the world that they are today, AI is optimizing operations. And, it's not just in supply chains, it's in marketing strategies and finance strategies, and it's in HR. So AI is going to make these processes more efficient without human oversight.
No question about it. Think about Tesla, right? They use AI to optimize their manufacturing process, right? Reducing the need of multiple layers of management oversight, right? It's kind of crazy But bottom line is you just need fewer managers, whether it's
Right.
supply chain, it's marketing strategies. Like if you have a marketing company and you're not using AI to have those efficiencies, so you need less bodies, you're crazy. It's a significant savings, right? AI, we'll talk about Walmart. They leverage AI to manage their inventories, to streamline their operations, to reduce the number of executives required for logistics and supply chain. It's real. It's real. What would be kind of a fifth one? When we talk about this idea, our executive position could be eliminated, what would be a fifth reason why AI could eliminate that senior level position?
Well, I guess I'm on tennis today because I played with the Wilson Pro staff all my life. And it's a very precise, very controlled racket where I can deliver the personal power, but it really gives me that precision and control. And it's a fairly heavy racket because that's just traditionally what I grew up with. Roger Federer is the father of it. So, but I want more spin, and I'm thinking about alternatives. So Grok and I have been having conversations all morning, thinking through alternatives because I'm going to go get a demo and try it out. My point is from a consumer perspective, I'm able to gather intelligence and insights very quickly. So from market competition, companies adopting AI can really do what I did, but just in a market sense, and really go after a significant competitive advantage. It can be more agile, it can be more productive, and you can really think of the efficiencies that could, think of our product days, Pete.
Yeah.
We used to spend all that time on the competitive sets and the consumption target and all those things. We can probably do that pretty easily with the assistance of AI.
Well, you just think about developing products, right? At Ford, right? Our cycle plan for a vehicle was what, 4 years, right? You have Chinese manufacturers in the automotive industry that they can develop a vehicle in 1 year. And it's because they're leveraging technology like AI to improve their agility, their productivity, and to reduce costs. It's absolutely amazing to me. I mean, think about Amazon, right? They're a leader in using AI to optimize logistics, customer service, and product recommendations. And if you're not adopting AI with your business model, you're gonna get left behind.
Right.
And all this, people becoming more competitive, it's gonna eliminate executive positions. You'll just need less if you stay in the game of adopting AI.
So then it makes you kind of think about AI in leadership roles. And, we talked about decision making, whether it's Hawkeye and tennis or these other things that we've referenced. AI is being tested to make high-level decisions. Heck, it's flying drones in wars, So, if it can fly drones in wars that are not piloted and that's more efficient than someone sitting in the seat with a stick, you got to think that there's going to be AI-driven leadership roles someday.
No question about it. Yeah, right. I mean, it's going to disrupt industries. Think about something like finance, right? They now have AI trading programs, right? Robo advisors that minimize the role of the financial executive in automating investment decisions. It's crazy. Even you and I from the auto industry, General Motors, right? They're leveraging AI to manage their assembly lines and things like that, reducing their need for top executives in production and operation management. It is real. It's out there. I mean, The Economist talked a little bit about how AI is disrupting industries like finance and manufacturing. It's crazy.
We've often talked in the process of how do you look at these businesses that we help people discover and eventually own. What's Amazon proof? Now it's what's Amazon and AI proof, right? So there's a lot of things out there. I don't know if Pilates is ever going to be driven by AI. But a reformer's a reformer. You need to get on and off it. There's tons of examples about the services that can be provided in the offerings that we talk about that frankly are AI proof and are Amazon proof. But the economic pressures that come in a downturn or a market shift, will only 2x, 3x, 4x the AI technology adoption. When you think of the pandemic, right? There are real cases where people are like, okay, what do we do? And there's nothing better than an economic downturn or pressure to make you think differently. And there's AI bringing efficiencies into it. Well, where do you think people are going to go?
Yeah, there's no question. It's just, we saw it with the pandemic, right? People are literally leveraging during tough economic times AI to reduce their expenses, right? And I think that's big. You see that with Tesla. Again, this idea of economic slowdowns, they use AI-driven automation to manage their production. But I think one of the biggest ones, and we haven't talked about this yet, is AI in leadership roles. Right. Literally, there are companies that are replacing executives and creating an AI, for lack of better terms, leader, right? So yeah. AI-driven leadership. This should scare the crap out of everybody. It's absolutely, companies like Xerox have experimented with AI to take managerial roles, in some cases, utilizing AI to make decisions typically reserved for senior level management.
It's something. So these are why people think about transitions and think about getting ahead of the impacts that they're going to see, whether you're earlier in your career or late in your career. Don't let AI move your cheese. Let's move your own. And that's what Pete and I are here to do. So whether you go to hireself.com or you go to empoweredfranchisee.com, take 15 minutes out of your non-AI life and give us a call, because Pete and I like to help people who are in transition. We've both been in it ourselves. We've helped hundreds and hundreds of people work through it. And there are plenty of opportunities to take your non-AI executive leadership skills, put them to work with your balance sheet, and really do something that can really anchor your success and your financial position moving forward.
Yeah, and simply put, AI, when you're a small business owner, is not going to replace you, right? So if you have a plumbing business, AI is not going to replace your plumbing business. Now, you're not the plumber, but you're leading a plumbing business. You need to start protecting yourself before it's too late. So you want to start looking at your options. And again, you and I, we help people take a look at, for lack of better terms, taking control of their destiny, building wealth, and leveraging or living life on their own terms. And so we're here to help. We'd always encourage you to subscribe, to follow us, because we're here 15 minutes. It's free. Time to learn, protect yourself. AI is coming for your job.
Give us a call before you get AI'd.
Right. Awesome. Thanks so much. That's
all
awesome.
Right, Pete. Bye. All right.
Thanks for tuning in to the Escape and Empower podcast. We hope today's discussion has inspired you to consider franchise ownership as a path to leading life on your own terms. Start your journey towards financial freedom and flexibility. Connect with Dave at empoweredfranchisee.com or Pete at hireyourself.com. Until next time.